Hi, welcome back under a random tree in my neighborhood. This is a video where I answer your questions that you ask me on Instagram. Just sit and express in this cozy environment. I've created this very warm atmosphere here. I hope you feel it. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and I feel kind of content, which is a bit unusual for this season of my life, but grateful. Caught the momentum. Okay, let's see. The first question was, how do you deal with having no friends? The first video that blew up on this channel was how to find people who align with your values or something like that. And I've been telling you guys that I struggle with connecting with people overall. I struggle with making connections. I struggle with socializing, as many of us do. That's why I express it, because I see that it's a common issue in our generation. Not fun at all, not normal. And I feel like we blame the situation for it, and we stay in a comfortable, cozy, mentally ill, depressed environments. I do have very good friends outside real life and outside physical encounters, you know what I mean? Because they either moved out of the city that I live in, or I just met them somewhere where I don't live. And so it's basically long distance friendships. But how to deal with having no people in your life? You don't have friends because you don't have people in your life, because you don't socialize. I like to look at problems in your life. I like to look at everything that is in your life as your fault. So if anything is good in your life and you feel content, that is sent from God. And if anything is not making you happy, that is your actions that need to be realigned and restructured. That was your thoughts that weren't aligned with, the purest vision of who you need to be, aka God. Or you've built your reality to be something that you're not content with. That is your fault. And that is my fault that I don't have people in my life right now. So what do I need to do to put myself in settings with people to find friends or people who align with my values? A real truth is you can't find people who align with your values if you don't align with your values. So stop asking this question and actually do things that align with who you want to be. And that will automatically put you in a state of action and force you to do things that you know that you need to do, but you don't feel comfortable with. So for example, go get a job at a cafe. That's uncomfortable. And build your life in a way that will provide you the thing that you're craving. If that's actually what's meant to be in your life, you know what I mean? You are doing everything to not have friends. Well, you shouldn't crave human connection in a sense that you are accepting everything and anything. That's a totally different conversation. The reason why I don't have people around me, because I'm very selective. Be gracious, be like, maybe this is a season where I explore myself. And when you reach a point, I'm here right now, where it's not helping you anymore, but it's literally taking away from your health and peace, you need to re-enter spaces that are uncomfortable, that will, uncomfortable, everything is uncomfortable. Sitting here is kind of uncomfortable, but you either give it energy or you transmute it into, something beautiful. I take my attention away from the fact that this grass is kind of wet and uncomfortable, and I just look at how beautiful the environment is. So stop giving attention to the fact that, entering spaces with new people is uncomfortable, and think about it like, I'm safe no matter where I go. I take myself anywhere I go, and I'm a safe person for myself. So whatever happens there, it's going to teach me something. How do I deal with having no friends physically? I make decisions that will give me different outcomes. I stop following the definition of insanity. What decision have you made in the last year that made your current life possible? That's a really cool question. I want to make it clear. What you see on the internet around my life, my lifestyle, how I live, my day-to-day, my accomplishment is not the reality. It is highlights of my experience that I choose to show you, to build a story around what I'm trying to illuminate, make art on, and build on. And so I choose to build my reality in a way that will help me create a story that will illuminate my values and beliefs. Probably teach isn't the right word, but express and present ideas. That's what I do. So I basically had to make decisions and discipline myself in ways that will put me in certain environments, that will give me accomplishments to build stories on and gain experiences. And I just do things that I like. So basically what you see me do, it's highlights, just to make it clear. I usually just spend my days working on videos, writing, watching, learning, reading at home, going to the gym, coming back, editing. So if you view me as this super cool content creator, always traveling supermodel YouTube girl, thank you. It's working. That's what I'm trying to make the outside of my life look like, to present beliefs, values, and stories that matter to me. So basically, yeah, let's be grateful for a second. I don't have to go to school because I've built a structure in my life that allows me to do so. I made a very difficult decision to completely let go of the idea of the future that was expected of me. I feel like the main decision that I made is to keep making decisions, is to not stay in one place, to stay loyal, to constantly improve and ask myself uncomfortable questions, to constantly do things that I know I need to do. Discipline. That's the decision, I guess. I decided to travel a lot. So I just create, express, and travel and experiment. Maybe it makes me feel a bit more anxious because I don't have a stable routine every day. I don't have a schedule put upon me of what I should do, and that might make me feel unsafe. But again, if I recenter my attention to the freedom that it gives me, I can view it as a blessing and I can be truly grateful for it and build and create on it. Everything comes back to positive thinking and recentering your attention to where it needs to be, and doing things that you know you should be doing instead of coming up with excuses or following the more comfortable decision. The decision that I made that allowed me to live my current life is to make uncomfortable decisions. One of the questions was as well, how do you travel so much? I've made it my priority to travel. Everything that I do is traveling. If I'm not traveling, I'm doing everything that will allow me to travel. I feel like I unconsciously made it my priority to travel. Like what is there to do if not to experience life? Came up with an idea how I can work remotely from anywhere in the world, doing what I like to do and expanding in that direction, or just saving enough money to travel for some time and then come back home and make that money again. If we're talking about money, because I feel like this question comes up a lot when we're talking about how am I able to travel so much at 18, sponsoring my own travels by only traveling when I need to, only traveling when I know that the payoff will be worth it. Strategize and reevaluate if it's worth it for me to make the decision. I don't travel just to travel, because some of my friends do that and that's cool, but that's not I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to just get out of the house with a backpack and say, I don't know where I'm going, but it's going to be fun. Like, I understand the thrill of it, but I love stability and I love feeling clean and organized. While I also love adventures. So I just think about those things and I plan and I work and I discipline myself. That's it. Do you worry about maybe never finding the right partner? And what are you searching for in a partner? I love this question. So instantly when I read it, I was like, why are you asking me this? Is there something wrong with me that makes you want to ask this question? Like, do you think I might never find the right partner? But then I observed this thought of like my anxiety. Why am I even thinking why this person asked this? Like, there is some anxiety. There is some of this, like, I am too complicated for someone to like be as complicated as me. Why I find it hard to make friends. That's what I talked about, you know? It's me being very selective intentionally. It might take some time. You know, my logical brain starts to come up with reasons why I will never find the partner, you know, because it tries to explain the fear. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm complicated. I have this kind of lifestyle. My values aren't that popular. My ideas are all over the place. I don't really go out. And I try to judge the future based off of my past experiences. So whenever I talk to people who I seem to resonate with, I rarely connect with them on a like actual deep soul level where I can trust them with my life. So I naturally worry about like, what if, you know? So the fear is there. I will be honest with you. Let's zoom out. I am 18 years old. What are we even talking about? I just got born into this beautiful world. I'm figuring it out. The fear is absolutely illogical. Even thoughts about, you know, getting married, having kids, it's all very hormonal, very normal, very cute. I will figure it out. And you know, even if, let's be accepting and mindful for a second, if God chooses a path for me, because I've already realized that, you know, I don't really know what's best for me. I hope that it will give me the outcomes that I desire, that will put me in the right direction and will give me the fulfillment and contentment. But most of the time, I'm not right. If God decides that in this lifetime, I will serve a higher purpose and I will feel more content and I will experience more of what this world has to offer without having kids, without being married, without entering a divine partnership, then I will accept it. I will have to make peace with it. And I think I'm learning to reach that level of acceptance and trust, to let go of this pressure and truly like surrender to God and be like, yeah, provide me opportunities that will guide me where I need to be. Not what I feel like I want to experience, because why is the craving there? Again, ask yourself, why do you want to find the right partner? You're searching for love. Romantic love or just love? Deeper sense of understanding, warmth, comfort, depth, resonance. And that is not found in romantic love. It can be, but not just. Romantic love is only so divine and wonderful because there is the aspect of God in it. There is the aspect of higher good, deep resonance, connection. It's not just the fact that you met someone who understands you. It's the fact that there's this unspoken essence between two people that can be found just in the silence of one person. You know, you wouldn't be able to feel it in the partnership without you being able to experience it alone. I feel like we need to decenter the craving of romantic relationships. That's where all the cravings of all the other things from the other side are there, you know. We are focusing too much on needing that instead of why we need it, because we want to build more meaningful connections. Let's focus on being more intentional with the environment, with nature, with what we create, with our words, with the art that we make. It's not just about instinctual, let's build a family, bring back traditional values, have kids. Why do we want that? Because we want to have more control of the resonance that is divine. And we can't. So, yes, the fear is there, but I observe it and I let it go. I can't control some things, I can hope for things, and if they're meant to happen, they will. And I pray that they will, because it's something that I truly want and a desire. But, you know, that's why I say if God is willing, because if He's willing, then I will experience what I want to experience. And if there's something better for me, I will experience something better for me. The second part of this question was, what are you looking for in a partner? I never thought I would ever say this. I don't care how someone looks. What I thought my type was turned out to be the thing that was distracting me from the intentions of the person. I allowed myself to get mistreated, undervalued, disrespected. And you know what? That's not like I was only focusing on looks, because I found myself, oh, you know what? I actually can confess this. I only liked 2 people in my entire life. I'm trying to think if I was focusing on looks or no. No, because I feel like initially the attraction wasn't there. But then when I started over fantasizing about deeper sides of a connection, I grew into being attracted to something that I wouldn't usually be attracted to, and that still didn't work because it was still overly fantasized, you know what I mean? I grew into not having a physical type. I'm free from the delusion that I'm attracted to something physical, because I actually talked about this one once. I feel like whatever you're attracted to physically is very, very tied to what you're looking for to receive emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you know? So for example, why women are chasing the height, because we want to feel safe, we want to feel protected and cared for, and that can be achieved without height, unless you're 5'11" like me. I prefer someone taller than me. But anyway, no, let's not talk about this. Let's not degrade this conversation to discussing what I like in men physically. I now reached a stage where I almost like don't allow myself to get attracted to someone only by how they look, because I experienced it a few times. Okay, let's talk to them because I feel attracted to them physically. It ends up being traumatic. It ends up being a disappointment, and it ends up literally showing me the opposite side of what I thought it would be. I give you a chance to talk to me because I feel physically attracted to you, and my ego shuts down the red flags because I feel attracted to you physically. Ugh, the worst kind of thing. So I feel like we need to completely ignore how someone looks and get to know everyone despite our initial like kind of attraction. Finally matured to say that how you look is completely disconnected from what kind of person you are, unless we're talking about hygiene and how, your swag, how put together you are. That is very, very, very tied to the kind of person, the kind of discipline and routine and values and structure you have. But if we're talking about something that the person can't control, like the color of their hair, eyes, skin, height, it should never be the criteria of whether like I'm attracted to you or not. Disconnect from it. Like I try to control the thought of me getting attracted to someone only based on how they look. I'm like, that can go very, very, very south. I don't want to do anything with that. I can imagine things on that idea of who someone is, and I don't want to imagine anything without actual proof of actions, words, thoughts, connections, We don't do imagining anymore. I think this question was, what are you searching for in a partner romantically? So as far as looks go, we've discussed that we dismiss physical attraction until it's proven to be backed up with mental, spiritual, and emotional intelligence. Okay? So we're not discussing physical attraction. I'm trying to erase my physical type completely. I'm trying to not be attracted to someone just because of how they look. That's my goal. I'm trying to not look at people like that. Oh, that's interesting, because I feel like people look at me like that and they think that they know who I am. Interesting. Reflected onto me and it worked. That's cool. But what I'm searching for in a partner, I think like my type is my husband. Whatever that means to you, that is your type. Whatever fills the blank of the husband, the father of my children, life partner, business partner, emotional support, incredibly understanding, very open, intelligent, willing to learn and grow. I feel like growth mindset is the main thing. God in the center of everything, meaning ego is observed and controlled, discipline, intelligence. Creativity and artistic expression is very, very big for me. So vulnerable. I don't know if I want to answer this question in detail. I gave you an idea. What I'm searching for in a partner, I'm not searching for anything, but if we're talking my type, my husband. That's what I'm gonna say. How do you deal with the fear of making the wrong choices in life? I talked about only choosing paths that I feel like I will win in, and not giving myself the grace of learning and failing, which I feel like it isn't completely true. I constantly make decisions that I don't even know if I should do, but I feel like they will provide me growth, and they're super, super uncomfortable. But I'm like, if I fail, then I learned something. The answer to this would be allow yourself to fail. Like just learn, just experience. I actually was talking to someone recently. Someone reached out to me, usual stuff like, let me edit your videos, let me clip your videos or something, let me make your thumbnails. And I'm like immediately not interested in that. I'm in a stage where I manage my brand myself, so thank you very much. But because I saw that they have no followers, and I'm like, okay, I've been there. Let me try to help you understand how you can approach people, what you can build first, and how you can provide free value before you're asking for something in return. I wanted to make them feel not alone in this and less anxious, and like maybe this response would inspire their work. Maybe they would stay disciplined and consistent to their idea of what they're trying to do right now if they got a response from someone who they wanted to collaborate with. So I gave them this opportunity of like talking to me about this, because they were asking me like, how do I not fail? How do I actually get a job? Actually asking for advice and how they can get opportunities like this. And so I took the time. I was like, okay, let me be a good person today. I told them how important it is to fail, how important it is to cold call, cold email, like literally just talk and express. You have nothing to lose. Only actual loss would be to not take the opportunity and to simply not message the person, not call the person, not schedule the meeting. How do I deal with the fear of making the wrong decisions and choices? If we're talking about fear of exploring something that you know you should do, the only answer is to just do it, just push through the uncomfortability, just simply move into action, no matter how you feel. If we're talking about something completely different, which is tied to regret and guilt and fear of making decisions that you know you shouldn't have done. And then we're talking about releasing guilt, understanding your actions, forgiving yourself. That's a lesson on emotional intelligence and empathy with yourself. That's completely different. That's like a different topic, like two different separate conversations here. Wrong decisions happen. Decisions that do not match your values happen. But then this guilt, I feel like, is the price that you pay immediately for something that you know you shouldn't have done, for something that you know you could do better, for an environment that you shouldn't have put yourself in. And this guilt, I feel like, is a simulation of a momentary identification with something that you're not. So you do something that you know, like, this is a wrong choice. You did something. And immediately you feel like, I'm a bad person. And this is guilt. This is this moment of identifying with something that you are not, that you were not before the decision, right? But you are not it right now still. But you have this simulation of identifying with it, and this pain and this guilt and this wrong choice and feeling of like misery is the price that you pay. It's the karma reflected back to you. It's this horrible feeling of, ew, I am this person. So what to do? You learn the lesson and you don't make the mistakes again. Or if you do, you repeat the cycle and you feel miserable again. That can be referred to addictions, wrong environments for you, horrible people around you, words that you choose, anything that you know that isn't you but you still do it is a wrong decision. Actions that don't align with your values or with your words. That happens to me. It's like, am I really this kind of person? I thought I grew. Well, you didn't pass the test, and that's okay, because that's the price that you pay for your wrong decisions. And if you don't make the decision again, you won't get the flashback again. You have a new chance tomorrow, right? So that was book recommendations right now. Love this. So there's 2 books I'm reading right now. I'm rereading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, the classic one. I feel like that was one of the first spiritual books I've ever read. Wonderful. Really understand the ego. The last video was entirely inspired by that book. Value of your accomplishments, value of your actions, and life. Because everything comes back to now. There's nothing besides the present moment. Love that book. And the other book that I just started reading today in the morning, and I love it. I actually started listening to the audiobook, and I listened to the first 20 minutes, and I was like, no. I don't want to waste this beautiful experience on an audio experience. I want to read the book physically. Maybe I will learn new words, new expressions if I have it physically. So I'm going to order it today. It's The Will to Change by Bell Hooks. Man, Masculinity, and Love. I feel like that's what it's called. Why male love is so difficult to achieve, and like we feel like we need to earn it. It touches on male loneliness. Bell Hooks really did a great job on explaining how feminism affected us demonizing men for not being able to be vulnerable and emotional without giving them the understanding and space to feel the pain, to be misunderstood, because they are also the ones who craved male attention and love. And also how we put male love and like fatherly love on a pedestal. While we have enough of motherly love, sometimes too much of it, we crave male attention so much because it's not so common to come across in its pure form, right? So that's a beautiful book. I just can't wait to get my hands on it physically and learn. What questions would you like someone to ask you when getting to know you? You know, when you are getting to know someone and someone asks that one, I don't know if that's everyone, but when someone asks that one like super cool question, I'm like, I like you immediately. Like, let's be friends, please. You actually care about me as a person. That's incredible. That is rare. I have very good intuition in that sense. Sometimes when people get to know you for the wrong reasons or want to get something out of you by getting to know you, they will ask questions that will make you feel good. Intentionally. Like a question that, you answering to it will make you feel good about yourself. And they asked it to seem interested. And I can feel it. I just can like, you don't actually like this music. You just asked me about this to make me feel good and feel like you connect to me while you literally have no idea what I'm talking about. You don't connect to this. You don't care about this. I don't know if this made any sense, but I have good intuition in terms of people asking me questions and why. But when someone asks me, I love when someone asks me about books. That's a very uncommon question. And you know how I know? When someone asks me a question and I answer, and then they answer it themselves. So they wanted to spark a conversation. They actually wanted to talk about it themselves. So they wanted to tell me something about themselves. That's kind of how I know that they're not only focused on getting to know me, but also giving me value in a form of their character. So like they want to present themselves to me, not just get something out of me. I love questions about art because when you get an idea of someone's swag in terms of the music genres, the music artists, movies, books that they read, you kind of get an idea of what this person likes, how they think. Hello. Hello. She's so pretty. Look how cute. That's vulnerable and I don't want people to use it, but I just want to share it because that means something to me. I've never been asked, how do you actually feel right now? Or what is the stage of life you're in right now? But like honestly, and I don't say it because I want someone to ask me that. I want to ask someone that. I want to know this about you. If someone cared about me enough to ask that question, that would give me a sign that they actually want to get to know me. Because when I actually want to get to know someone, I really want to ask that question. I really want to feel vulnerable and safe enough and comfortable to ask this question. Because I genuinely want to know you right now, like what stage of your life you're in, what you fear, what you care about, what's your anxiety about, what thoughts you wake up with in the morning. And I get that it's not super comfortable like right away in the first stages of, making a friend. But I would like to know that about someone because I know my intention behind it. So I would like someone to have those intentions about me. So them asking this question would mean that they have the right intentions, but I've never been asked that. It was usually deeper in the friendship, but when someone gets to know me, I would like to go through this immediate selection of like, do you actually care about me? Like what's the intention? You know? That would allow me to know that someone actually wants to get to know me for the person that I am. Okay, and the last question is, what is my current goal in life? Watch the previous video. Please. I kind of explained everything. I'm finishing The Power of Now, and my current goal in life is reaching a state of contentment in the present moment that will allow me to feel happy anywhere I go, in any circumstances, and free myself from my mind and from the suffering in my mind. That is the goal. I want to be present. I want to be free from my mind and from illusions of the mind, from illusionary pain and suffering and overthinking and anxiety, because that is all happening in the mental space. And my goal right now is to train myself to observe my thoughts and disconnect from my ego, because that isn't me and that isn't where I'm going, and it's mostly distracting me instead of helping me. So I want to learn to use the most powerful tool that I have, my mind. That's the goal. Okay, thank you for the questions. I have more questions, but this video is getting longer than I intended, so I might split it into 2 parts. Thank you for watching.